Was it seduction or illusion? Deception or murder? Nothing is what it seems in a town like Twin Peaks. Starring Kyle MacLachlan, Michael Ontkean, Laura Flynn Boyle, Sherilyn Fenn, and Joan Chen. And now you can fall back into the mystery, or begin your search for the first time every Tuesday night with a new episode hosted by a panel of superfans. Watch live for the audio commentary. No one is innocent in a town like Twin Peaks. This Thursday night, Netters Network is talking to someone whose YouTube channel is both wonderful and strange. A channel deep diving into Twin Peaks and the works of David Lynch. It's obnoxious and anonymous. This Thursday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Netters Network.
Presents Films with Friends.
This series presents information based in part on theory and conjecture. The producer's purpose is to suggest some possible explanations, but not necessarily the only ones, to the mysteries we will examine.
Good evening and welcome to Last Calls Monday Night at the Movies. Hope you all are doing well. I hope you've all had a good Monday. Yes, the name of this movie is Troy, and that is Little Troy from back in the 70s.
Ain't he cute?
Isn't he cute? Drinking a Schlitz. Yep, I've been on brand for as long as I can remember, let me tell you. Let me say hi to the chat, starting with, oh my gosh, 6:30. 6:37 to be specific. Lady Mist, wow, you are here early. Only slightly earlier than Connie Cleary at 7:17. My gosh, ladies, you are awesome. Bringing in the popcorn and the pizza and all the other snacks ready for the movie. Welcome, welcome. You guys are awesome. Get your snacks and take your seats. It's movie time. Yeppers, yeppers. War is young men dying and old men talking. You know this. Ignore the politics. You know, nothing has changed. War never changes. Absolutely right, Big Al.
War
Welcome.
is war and hell is hell.
And of the two, I'd choose... Well, I don't know if I would choose... But welcome all of you. Matt Cheatwood, good to see you, my friend. And Pootie. Pootie, good to see you. And let's get her in here. Netter of Netters Network. Wow, oh, you chose a good one. How you doing, my dear? And what are you sipping on tonight?
Of course I chose a good one. That's why I married him.
Oh, you're sweet.
I'm
Crazy,
doing really
but
well.
sweet.
The reason we have a single feature tonight instead of a double feature tonight is Troy and I had a dental appointment this evening. So we just came back from having our teeth made sparkling clean.
Yeah, but
So the first thing I did is I had ice cream.
yeah, and I'm still a little bit looped. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be an interesting stream for me anyway.
I'm drinking my Meyer brand sparkling water, berry flavored.
Yep. And let's cross swords. That's cool. Do I make a new room for each topic? No. What I do is I just clear the chat. I clear the chat not at the end of the night, but at the beginning of the next stream is what I do.
Yeah, I kind of already answered them.
Oh yeah, I'm getting there. Let's see. Let's see. JPRPH1, welcome. Oh, and of course Lester San Jose, the Skeptic Tank. Welcome, my friend. It's good to see you here. And I think I've caught up to everybody. If I have missed you, please give me a shout out. Let me really quick bring in. We have a special guest tonight. Usually you see him in the chat. Tonight you will see him on the panel. It's Samuel Proctor. How are you doing, my friend? And what are you sipping on?
I am ready to witness some equestrian war crimes.
There you go. Fair enough.
And I'm just sipping on water. I forgot that you guys have the drinks. Normally I would have done like a chocolate shake or something.
Oh yeah. That would be good too.
Okay, you can dash off and make one. We don't mind.
Yeah, right. Yeah, let's all go to the lobby. No, I am sipping on just a Cherry Coke Zero. Stomach's a little bit upset, like I said, after that trip to the dentist. But we will have a great stream. It is a 3-hour stream, folks. This is the director's cut. But so if you've never seen the director's cut, this will be a treat for you. Nobody on the panel has seen this movie before, but
I don't think I have.
No, I don't think you have. I haven't. And but this was your suggestion, wasn't it, Samuel, in the poll when I was first starting Monday night at the movies?
Yes, it was.
Oh,
I thought it would have been the first one to do.
That was clever. That's, on brand. It's Troy. Welcome, Curtis Selby. Thanks for being here. I am going to warn everybody. I think some of you guys have had this problem before. I am noticing in Cosme that although I am sharing the screen, it doesn't blow up to fill up the room, so to speak. The only way I see to fix that is if you hover over the black space in Cosme where the movie is, you will see, if you're seeing what I'm seeing, it says screen share replayed. And if you click on that, nothing seems to happen. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that seemed to happen with...
You had that problem before
to
too, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, in this Roman Empire Discord channel, this guy was trying to...
Yes, Pootie, it is maximized. We have had this problem before. It is not with the way I am presenting it. It is the way Cosme is coming into you. And I know that there was a way that I could pull the screen out. Load media.
I'm trying to click on your screen.
Stop. Oh, give me a second, everybody. This is incredibly annoying.
Technical difficulties.
Well, this is what happens with Cosme for some reason. I don't want to cancel the stream just because Cosme is acting a fool.
Can you reload Cosme? I don't know if that's a thing.
I already have. I've done it multiple times, and it does nothing over here. I think that was what I had wanted. Okay. All right. So what I'm seeing is when I hover over the black screen that's showing in Cosme, there is a little arrow above where it says screen share replayed. Don't know if that's what you're seeing. I hope you are. There's a little arrow above it. You can click on that, and then you get different controls. And along the bottom, you have a volume control. You have the 3 dots on the right. You've got the little button in between them that blows up the screen. You won't be able to see the Cosme chat, but at least the movie will be bigified, if that makes any sense.
Oh, never mind. Oh, wait. I thought I was onto something.
Did you guys follow along with me on that? And is there anyone who's not seeing what I'm talking about and everything looks fine in Cosme? That's a possibility too. I can move the window. I have 2 screens. Okay.
Oh no, that's not it.
Okay, that works for you. Matt Cheatwood's got it.
I've got the big screen.
Okay. And are you doing okay, Samuel, with your version of Cosme?
I'm just joining. Looks like
okay.
I'm going to have to look at the... Hold on. I'm in the little room.
Right.
Screen share relayed. Yeah, it's just in the room.
Okay. So,
maybe what I could do...
Yeah, I tried doing all of that too.
Yeah,
like I said,
buttons are grayed out.
If you hover over the black screen, okay, you should see 2 little green buttons in the lower left-hand corner of the black screen, and it says "Screen Share Replayed." Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Hover over the little arrow above it. It says "Fallback to Native Controls." Right? Click on that.
Yep, clicked on it.
And it changes the controls. On the right-hand side, you have a volume control, and you can blow it up right there. Now, you won't be able to see the Cosme chat, but you will be able to see the big screen. And
that is full screen now.
Will work for you. Okay. All right.
Yep, it works.
So, sorry guys. We're just working with what we got here. Yeah, gosh, I can't even speak to phones and tablets. All I know is desktop. That's what I'm working with. So I think what I'm going to do is
work on.
Go ahead.
Oh, go on. Oh, I was going to say it does work on phones. I actually was able to watch the Easter parade stream while I was on vacation.
Oh, okay. There you go. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, Cosme, like I said, recently had an update and it's doing weird stuff, and we just got to work through it to the best of our ability, I suppose. But okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started because, like I said, it is a 3-hour, 3-hour tour. Exactly. And although I am theoretically simulcasting to Rumble, I'm not sure that I set the Rumble up right. It doesn't look like I haven't been able to get it to play or whatever, so that's fine. You guys are all here. I'm not going to be jumping over to Rumble because we only have the one feature tonight, and let's go ahead and get started. So
actually, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
But actually, I got a notification that it is live.
Let me take a look at it again. Rumble. My channel. Yeah, it says it's live. Oh, there it is. Okay. Well,
there you go.
Rumble is weird too, but it doesn't matter if you're here, if you're on Rumble. Either way, super appreciate you being here. Pootie says I replaced my background and the TV with a cropped pic of my background, and it almost looks like one pic. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. If you haven't already, let's right-click on that Cosme link above so you can watch the movie with us in some way, shape, or form, and we will get going. Gonna start, and again, this is the director's cut. If you're watching in the future and you want to sync up with us, We're going to start the director's cut in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Wait a minute, Troy. That's not 3 hours. That's 2 hours and 54 minutes.
Well, something like that.
So we're going to be watching Troy on Troy.
There we go. Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Pictures presents a Radiant production. Well, that sounds pleasant. In association with Plan B. Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I'd rather see Plan A first.
Well, fair enough. Wow, there's my name up on the big silver screen. Yep, 3,200 years ago.
Yeah, I was so surprised to find out that we found out that Troy was an actual place.
Yep. Yeah, for the longest time they just
and
assumed
not
it was a
just,
myth,
a legend,
and
like I thought.
yep, and they basically found the location. I thought that would be cool.
Yeah.
Now,
And I
of
think I
course,
told
you know,
about,
yeah. Go ahead.
I think I told you about that news about Plato's tomb being found recently.
Yes, I haven't had a chance to look into it, but that's pretty exciting too.
Yeah,
It's always been assumed that the
Yeah, it was-
story of
it
Troy
was because
is
of the Herculaneum scrolls.
right. It's always been assumed that the legends and the myths about Troy, that it was all fictitious. But you know, now that we know that Troy as a city existed, you know, historians start to think, well, you know what? These things tend to be based on something. Probably was this war. You know, the political figures are probably real people. Heck, even the mythological characters were probably based on some real people. And I think that's the idea that that this film is going with. Okay, so speaking about the music, Moody says the Achilles hero theme in this movie is great. Maybe one of James Horner's best. Okay, there you go. And welcome Sci-Fi Mombi from, I believe she's joining us on Netter's channel. Welcome, welcome. Always good to see you. Congratulations on the growth on your channel, by the way, Sci-Fi Mombi. Very pleased to see that. Did they find a couple of lost cities not too long ago, and they are trying to figure out what cities they could have been? Jesse, I don't know. The only thing I can speak to is as Samuel pointed out, and this was some years ago, they did discover the ruins of Troy. It was a real place. And that has happened many times. Many places that were thought to be legend and fictitious, turns out, yep, they exist. Thank you so very much, Troy. I'm absolutely so grateful. Oh, no problem, no problem. Together we grow.
So are they the 300?
Different war.
I think that's more than 300.
Yeah, exactly. And see, this is another thing. I don't know too much about, you know, ancient battle tactics and stuff, but you see this kind of stuff in movies all the time. The two big armies lining up. Is that really how they did it? Okay, we'll go and we'll stay like a football scrimmage, right? Hut, hut, hike, and then they slam into each other. Right. Turkey would have been, I suppose, at one time called Asia Minor.
Yeah, I'm more familiar with Roman battle tactics and combat, but a little bit of uh, the Greek combat.
Yeah.
Apparently, the shields weren't entirely made of metal, but more of wood, with sometimes some thin lining of metal over the top.
Sure. That's very interesting. This idea that instead of just everybody dying, you pick your best, I'll pick my best, and whoever wins wins. This way, instead of hundreds dying, only one guy dies, or maybe two.
It's like, get out of my way. I'm going to
It's
fight.
very much a David and Goliath situation.
I know, Pootie. There are actors that I swear have always been old. Like, I was busy.
If I remember correctly, the Trojan War is like the last mythological event in the old Greek pantheon stories. Like, it's the last heroes.
Makes sense.
Is that not correct?
No, I don't know. This is a little bit outside of my expertise. Yeah, like I said, he's a little bit busy. Did the movie Patton references? Very likely. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't. He was in Long Kiss Goodnight with old Sam Jackson. There you go. It is morning. It's not her fault. Or hers. It depends on which stories you're referring to. Well, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You're not me.
Ouch. But fair.
It's like, dude. It's like, I just had a happy night. Now I gotta do this. Come
Well,
on.
that's why he had a happy night. Because he's, big, strong soldier.
Oh,
I mean...
wait.
What?
I think I remember. I think that scene with the kid.
Yeah?
That might be kind of giving the same information that the Iliad did, where he had a prophecy on if he chose glory, he would have a short life, but he'd have glory, and if he wanted a long life, he'd have no glory and wouldn't be remembered, and he chose the short life.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a great way to get that concept in without going through the mythological element of it.
Yeah.
I like that. Imagine
Yeah.
a king who fights his own battles.
But Jesse, yeah, the Odyssey, that's a different story. That's if I'm not mistaken, isn't that Ulysses?
It's like, okay, so you're big and you make a lot of noise. Doesn't mean anything.
Well,
The bigger they are, the harder they
possibly. Good evening, Dad Man Walking. Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, loud noises can be intimidating in a crowd.
Yeah, that's true.
Although there is...
Oh!
Whoa. There are some
Now he should completely...
evidences.
Oh, it killed him. I thought he was at least going to lose use of his left arm, but he's dead. Do I got to kill these guys too now? Okay, I'll go back to what I was working on.
And trained by Phil.
Either he's not my king.
Then why you doing this?
He's a hired gun.
Kinda. I guess so. And that's fair. Port of Sparta, Greece.
Hey, we're back in Sparta.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that was Eric Bana on the right there. And I think Orlando Bloom. Yeah, that's Orlando Bloom.
Ah, yes. This is the era of Orlando Bloom.
From what I recall, the Odyssey is supposed to be about the king and his men who took part in the war with Troy, and afterwards they got lost for 20 or 30 years at sea until he got home and cleaned house. Right. Yeah, the Odyssey, the Iliad, the Aeneid. This is where we get all these Greek myths from.
Yep. And even the origin of Rome.
Right. I mean, they are myths, but that doesn't mean they weren't based on some truth. There's, some history in that.
Yeah, at this time, the area of Rome was just covered by tribes and the Etruscans.
Yeah. And so, like I was saying when we did the 300 takes the myth of the story and tells it literally, whereas this one takes and tries to imagine what the reality would be behind the myth.
Yeah, in preparation for this, I actually watched a different interpretation of this. It was actually an Italian movie called The Trojan Horse, It was dubbed in
Interesting.
English. It was pretty good. I liked it. Yeah, it even had a sequel, the Aeneid. It was like lower budget, but it adapted the legend of the guy who survived Troy and came to be the ancestor of Romulus and Remus.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Another pair that we assume must be based on real people, but all that we know of them is completely shrouded in myth.
Oh, is this Helen?
Yes. The boobs that launched
These
1,000
two are
ships.
the knuckleheads. These are the knuckleheads that started the war.
Yep. Are gonna start the war, yeah.
Did you say the boobs that launched 1,000 ships?
Yeah. They say that Helen was the face that launched 1,000 ships, but
She's not that ugly.
you're yeah, right. I've seen what happens to those champagne bottles. Or the butt that launched 1,000 ships. I mean, they picked a good actress. I mean, you know, I figured, yeah, that's a good interpretation of what Helen must have looked like.
Yeah, she's got a flat butt.
Dang.
Now I'm giving you a necklace as payment for sleeping with me.
Kinda. I mean, it's not like, you know, she's
You are
married to
brutal,
a
Netter.
king or something who already has all kinds of money. Yep, it could happen.
It's like, wow. That's like, I would actually hope that he would come back instead of just being so definitive about it.
Come with me. History has to happen.
Right?
Yeah, that could be Pootie. I don't know. It does make me wonder, you know, if Helen actually did play a role in it and she wanted to go, or it was more of an abduction.
Yeah. It really depends on who's telling it, the ancient Greeks or us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we try to be objective when we look back at history. I mean, we don't have a stake in one side or the other, right? So we try to guess which is more likely.
Yeah. Orlando Bloom kind of has a face that kind of fits the name Paris.
Yeah. And welcome, Mark Melnikoff.
Hey, Mark.
You know, I'm sure that that's about the extent of it. It's all going to be a war movie.
See, he's got your back.
Yeah, he's got my back, doesn't he?
And Jesse Guajardo, how are you, sweetie?
Still can't believe he was in Black Hawk Down. Yeah. Yeah, this is a very Klingon type of movie, Mark. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, going with the horse iconography. The Trojans
Yep.
really loved horses in their culture.
Which is also why when you start out the movie, you know, remnant from the previous battle, you see the dead horse on the ground. What did you do, Paris? Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that one, Curtis. Oh, interesting.
Doesn't he know it's bad luck to have a woman aboard a ship, supposedly?
Okay. I gotta step away momentarily. I'll be right back.
Mycenae, is that the area of Macedon? We got a Scottish Greek here.
Oh. That's a big dog. Are you who I think you are? You're that guy from that place.
You must assemble the armies.
All right, what did I miss?
Two jamokes mistook the king for just some ordinary peasant.
Oh, it happens, I guess, from time to time.
He was also a Scottish Greek.
Yes.
There you go. Well, that's fair. This is what I think people don't really think about much. History didn't just start with the things we've been able to find in archaeology. History goes back way before that.
Yep.
So when you hear, so-called conspiracy theorists talking about ancient civilizations before, before the Babylonians, before Ur, before, all of that, you know what? It's entirely possible. In fact, it's very likely.
Yeah, I've been reading some of Will Durant's history books.
Yeah.
This one called the first one was Our Oriental Heritage, and that talked about the most ancient ones we knew of, like the Egyptians, the Babylonians, and stuff. And it's like the farther back you go, the less evidence survives. But that doesn't mean that wasn't there. It's just our lack of knowledge.
Exactly, and this is why when people talk about things like, a theoretical Atlantis and stuff like that, who's to say there wasn't some more advanced? And I don't mean like aliens and hovercrafts and stuff advanced. Yeah. I just mean like the height of Greek and Roman and Egyptian civilization, but before all of that, it's entirely possible because empires rise and fall. We see it all the time.
Yep. I lean more on a sort of believing that of the theory of the what's it called, the Eye of the Sahara might have been Atlantis. It's like there's this big crater-looking thing that kind of matches descriptions that Plato
Yes,
did
I've heard that
Atlantis.
theory. Yeah. Now, see, that's another thing. It kind of makes me wonder. Did they realize what their role in history was? Usually people don't, you know? They assume that they will be forgotten. They don't assume that they're going to be the legendary, you know, heroes of whatever.
Though sometimes they do, like the founding fathers definitely knew that they were going to be put down in history.
I think when you are at certain apexes, like the start of a country, and even then they were like, yeah, you know, if we don't win this revolution thing, we're all dead, and we'll just be remembered as, you know, traitors and forgotten. But once the revolution was won, they were like, okay, well, we're the first, you know, governors of this new country. Yeah, we'll be remembered.
Yeah. Is this your avatar, Netter?
No. I think she chose Helen.
Yeah, I chose the blonde.
Um,
the young, pretty blonde.
Yeah. Mark.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes
I'm looking at my phone. Yeah.
Sometimes, Mark, the victors are just those that happen to have survived. See, that's 1,000 years. Who has a concept of remembering anyone over 1,000 years, you know?
I remember Jesus.
True, but is there anyone alive today that will be remembered 1,000 years from now? Possibly, but it seems unlikely.
Doomcock.
Well, yeah, maybe Lord Doomcock, sure.
The way you said that, Netter.
Exactly. Well, you didn't see her on my end. She did the, you know, fist in the air thing, you know?
I haven't seen a Doomcock video in a while.
Pootie says that Julie Christie was in Dr. Zhivago, Heaven Can Wait, and many other movies. Yeah, Heaven Can Wait is a... Huh?
Which character in Dr. Zhivago did she play in?
Do you know, Pootie? I don't know. Kind of like... Yeah, Avatar themes here, yeah. Troy, the Great Walled City.
Now there was a place that knew how to build a wall.
Yeah, Heaven Can Wait is another one I'm going to have to do on a Monday night. And it also, so you come into the city triumphantly with the queen of another country. That comes off very much like spoils of war, you know? Is that, was that Peter O'Toole?
I don't know, I wasn't looking.
Neither was I.
So, are they returning her or no?
My gosh, it really looks like him.
It certainly does.
I don't see anything in IMDb that says he was in it, though, so I must be mistaken.
What have you done, son?
Right?
Yeah, agreed, Curtis.
I think I vaguely remember Helen's origin being somewhat of a mythological trope of
Yeah.
her being born to one of the gods. I don't remember which one.
So, Sci-Fi Mambi, you're saying that was Peter O'Toole? I'm not seeing
Yeah.
him in the IMDb listing. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong movie.
Well, that would explain it, dear.
That would do it, right?
If you're looking
You
at the
done
movie
goofed.
Netter, well then, yeah.
I done goofed, yeah.
I noticed the youngest one didn't spill as much of his wine.
Yep. There he is. Peter O'Toole is Priam. Exactly. I have not seen For Great Glory, Curtis Selby.
Menelaus. I always read it as Menelaus.
Yeah, I know.
It's just one of those things where you always pronounce it when you read it differently.
Exactly. Well, I mean, in fairness, I don't know the language well enough, but I mean, it's like how many people say Caesar, Caesar, Caesar. It's Kaiser.
Yeah, and Ave Kaiser.
Yeah. Well, he's not wrong. I'll have to look into it, Curtis. Hmm. Well, that's a good point, too. Ah, Maria.
Maria.
Hey, all. Have to watch Willie cooking. Much love to you. Yeah. Thanks so much for stopping by. Super, super appreciate you. You're wonderful.
Excuse me while I walk around half naked.
Yeah. And show how cold I am because I don't put a wrap on to cover myself.
That fire would be good for that.
Right, exactly. But she likes the ambiance out on the balcony there. Reminds me of this bit from there was an episode of Moonlighting called "The Dream Sequence Always Rings Twice," and it was told in that black and white noir style. And there's this bit where Bruce Willis, he's wearing this Dago tee and fedora and whatnot. And he's playing a trumpet next to the window, and he's narrating as though it was a noir film. And he goes, "I was sitting by the window, the wind blowing, playing a trumpet. I knew I looked good that way."
So you're going to be running for the rest of your life because you took some other guy's woman.
Yep. And then you will die, and she will be taken back. That's how these things work.
And then she will be tortured because...
Possibly.
She did the unthinkable. She didn't just cheat on her man. She cheated on the big man.
She's basically saying you're an immature, naive fool, kid. I mean, and the fact is, everybody's saying that. Even his father, who's running defense for him, knows this was boneheaded.
Oh, I can hear you now. I think my connection kind of cut off a little bit.
Oh, okay. And the wind does not respect a fool. That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely, Mark.
Every time I see these historical war movies, I just want to wear their armor. They're just so cool.
A bunch of Samuel Proctors referring to your icon there.
Yeah. That's my Roman icon.
Yep.
Or Samuel Procurator.
Yeah. Now here's another thought too. You got all these people living in this walled city, going about their business, They are not involved in any of these politics. And chances are they're about to, get dead when the war starts. Breaches the wall.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that channels like I think Invicta and a few others go into some of the lesser known stuff like the taxes or the clothes making.
Yep.
Although there is kind of a historical movie trope I'm seeing here where most of all the buildings are like one monotone color.
Yes, I was just thinking that. That's how we see them because of, 1,000 years of erosion, but the reality is things would be painted and colorful.
Yeah, even the statues.
Mm-hmm.
See what you did?
Yep.
It's like, the gong is going, clear the street.
Those beach defenses remind me of the ones that Rommel used at Normandy. I was thinking that too. Again, war doesn't change.
Yeah, there's some channels like Voices from the Past and a few others that that just retell or just read translations of these documents of just soldiers that were there, or like
Yeah.
Julius Caesar's journals, and yeah, it's very similar to today, like All Quiet on the Western Front kind of stuff.
Well, it's like I was reading a book. It was literally the diary of a military doctor, a British military doctor, who fought in Afghanistan in the late 1800s. And I swear, the things he's describing, the tactics that the enemy was using, the injuries he was treating, even a lot of the politics around it, could just as easily have been, modern day, the war in Afghanistan. It's like we're still fighting the same war. It's just it's still the the Afghani people against it's now the United States instead of Britain.
That armor they're wearing with the square sections, it kind of makes me think of a statue of Alexander the Great.
Sure.
And then with Achilles' armor, it looks very different. It kind of makes me wonder if they meant that specifically to make him more mythological.
Yeah.
And he makes a good
Like he
point.
got
He
it
goes, I
from the
can't fight the
gods.
Trojans if I'm worried about you. Guard the ship.
And you notice that his men were in like variations of leather and whatnot, and he was wearing this bronze.
We may need to check in with Shadiversity and
Right.
Metatron for the leather armor. But
Exactly.
I've heard on the Roman side that leather isn't exactly a common thing for them. Mostly chainmail and lorica segmentata. But leather is more of a Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Greeks.
That one guy looks totally psycho.
Well, you kind of get yourself psyched up for war, you know?
Yeah, get the adrenaline pumping.
Yep.
Although at least for a lot of Roman ones, not all, but apparently they had a more unique strategy of just being silent and just having their footsteps do the talking.
And apparently these guys are seeing the 300 because they're all going, hoo, hoo, hoo. Yeah, that's going to leave a mark.
Spartans, what is your profession? Who?
Ouch.
Oh, we got fire arrows. We got fire arrows.
Yep. And there's that phalanx.
It's like, our arrows will blot out the sun,
Right.
and we shall fight in the dark.
In the shade.
In the
yes.
shade, yeah.
And later we will declare war on the sea.
Right.
Oh! Yikes.
Yeah,
Talk
I've
about
seen
a
dead before,
migraine.
and that's dead.
Oofed.
No.
I mean, I wonder how many times headshots killed people with, in battles like this.
I think I remember hearing that that's one of the main targets with the pre with classical battles like this with their armor, because the faces are less protected.
So technically, wouldn't this be the late era of the Bronze Age, where swords and shields would be made of bronze, leather, and wood, and armor? Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things that I've heard Metatron say a lot. Sometimes, what existed, what they were capable of, and what the vast majority had were two different things. Maybe the wealthy had the best armor, but, everyone else had whatever they could scrounge. I mean, a cotton shirt is better than a bare chest. A leather, shirt is better than cotton. And you probably layer up, to gain some advantage from each. Oh, yeah, no, I know it happened, but I'm wondering how often it happened from a spear, I
actually got a question answered from Metatron from a comment I made on what the Romans wore in the winter as soldiers. It was because I was wanting to do a costume for an outdoor nativity, and he answered like like these special kind of special shoes, like the word escapes me, but he had like thicker clothes underneath.
Yeah. So you notice,
That was cool.
You notice he announced himself as Ajax. So again, we're seeing, these, mytho-historic characters being represented. Ugh. I mean, that was impressive.
Yeah, I'm not watching. I'm waiting until all this grossness is over.
It's going to be most of the movie, though.
That's okay. I'm busy looking for Spider-Man for you.
Oh, okay.
You see, it's characters like these where I make an exception on believing that they could pierce the armor, like Achilles. But with like a normal person, it's kind of like, come on.
Yeah.
They had armor for a reason.
There are YouTube channels that go over Roman soldier equipment from the day of the Roman Kingdom to the time of the Republic, and the Metatron is probably the one I watch the most. Well then.
Where's your god now?
Well.
It's like, man, do I gotta fight these guys?
Yeah, another channel I recommend for stuff like that is a channel called Imperium Romanum, which they're like a reenactment channel that kind of creates and tests them out.
Oh,
I mean, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. You know, how many people threw spears with that level of accuracy? Is
No.
that plausible? I don't know. I don't know.
it's like, now warn the men.
I mean, I
Well-
suppose it is possible.
Yeah, yeah, it probably is possible. Like a certain percentage hit it because
Yeah.
they kept doing it.
Now, he dodged the spear. It would have been funnier if he'd caught it.
Yeah, and then turn around and hurl it back at him.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, Captain America in Infinity War style.
Right, exactly.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
I mean, it's an ambush. That's a kind of trap, right?
Dang it, Paris.
Yeah.
I think that's just what we should just keep repeating this whole movie.
Yeah, right?
Dang it, Helen. Dang it, Paris.
You know, if Paris had just kept it in his loincloth, or whatever. Jesse Guerrero, dang it, Bobby! Damn, it is. Ooh. I mean, he's not wrong.
Dang.
He is not wrong. And welcome, Darth Plato. Good to see you, my friend. You know how this works. The Cosme link up at the top if you want to watch from where we're at.
There's a specific time of day to kill a prince?
Yeah, not before noon. And if you finish early, then you can have tea. I don't know. I'm making this crap up.
Okay.
Yeah, 1,000 ships, you know.
So, all of those ships are with Blondie over here.
Yes.
Oh, that's a lot of peoples.
Yep. Although the actual numbers of these ships in these ancient wars is always kind of a frustrating thing for historians to really decipher if they're
True.
over exaggerating or under exaggerating.
So,
It's always a headache.
Plato, Darth Plato, the ships are landing. They've just had the battle at the Temple of Apollo.
He let the prince go because it's apparently too early to
Yeah,
the prince.
exactly.
Excuse me, Troy and Eder, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get dinner.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yep, I heard Horner's horns.
Oh, he was total fanboy. I'm honored to go to war with you.
Yeah. Behold the Greek Armada. Yep, absolutely.
They're nothing compared to the Klingon Armada.
True. Man, now I want gyros. Rose Byrne, huh? Huh.
I like how they show him just low enough so
Yeah.
you know he's naked
Yeah,
without showing anything.
right.
This
Well-
is the scene I walk into.
Yeah, exactly. He had a sock on. Yeah, probably.
Phase 1 and 2 Marvel is taking notes here.
Right.
Every movie had to have at least one shirtless scene with the guy.
Right, and they all complain about the male gaze, right? Oh, it doesn't work the other way, right? I just want it more. It's crazy to think that centuries later the Romans would build fleet after fleet numbering in the hundreds of thousands after losing the pervasive fleet. Yeah. During the First Punic
Yeah,
War. Look, that's, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. War never changes. Countries will throw all of, and by countries I mean kings, oligarchs, leaders, will throw all of their nation's resources into the military. And they will just throw men at the problem, throw ships at the problem, throw armor at the problem. And whoever has the most toys wins. The last man standing and all that.
Yeah.
Now,
Although
that
the
is-
Romans
Huh?
were a bit more adaptive. The Romans were a bit more adaptive, that they were a bit
Sure.
more strategic than most
Absolutely.
others.
I thought that was really cool. They pull the ships up on shore, put up these tents over and around it, and turn it into their, meeting halls and, headquarters and stuff.
Looks like Brad Pitt actually had a bath there. He looks clean.
Yeah.
Probably the first time he doesn't stink.
Yes, Jesse Guajar, though. I did see Brandon Herrera's AK-50. It is sweet. Check it out. The video opens with a parody of the opening of Deadpool with Angel of the Morning. An incredible cover of Angel of the Morning. I want that cover. I want to know who's singing it. Actually, I just thought of something. I could probably leave a super thanks and ask that question.
Or once I actually have a tab available, because I have too many tabs open so I can't search, I can see if I can find it for you.
The problem is, other than the fact that it's Angel of the Morning, I don't know how else to look for it.
Angel of the Morning, Brandon Herrera. See what comes up.
Oh, okay.
Have you forgotten I'm like the Google queen?
You are. I mean, for the most part, he's right.
True. In fact, one of the earliest non-royalty, or at least earthly royalty, that has been recorded is Christ.
Yeah, that runoff is coming up in the next week or so. If any of you guys are in, what is it? Is it District 23? southwestern Texas. Make sure you vote for Brandon Herrera, not the Rhino Tony Gonzalez.
In other news, here in Utah, Romney is getting out of his term, so good riddance.
Yep, absolutely. I'm with you. Jesse, you're awesome. All hail Netters, the queen of Google. Yes. Well, more are gonna.
And you have a little finger wave like this.
See, that's what's interesting. When you are a powerful enough soldier, you can mouth off to a king. I'll tell you, Jesse, I'm very seriously considering a move to Texas. We'll see what the next, 5 to 10 years brings, because that's really what it's going to take for us to get, financially soluble enough to get out of Illinois. Give me a second. I will give you a timestamp. I will try to give you a timestamp. I'm using the wrong mouse.
Yeah.
So we are at the 1 hour, 13-minute mark. And just, full disclosure, we're watching the director's cut. The funeral pyres are blazing right now. 1, 113.34.
Yeah, Troy. Before he gave me the instructions to expand the screen, my mouse was just over the
Yeah.
rent now button. I was prepared to do that.
That was one hell of an indiscretion, though.
Dang it, Paris.
Exactly. Damn it, Paris. Wilkie's Movies and Music. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. Good to see you. We are watching Troy from 2004. I'm guessing you're on Netter's channel.
Yep.
So she has the Cosme link pinned to the top. Or if you want to use your own copy of the director's cut of Troy, we'll give you a timestamp if you want us to.
Yes, the bird signs. That was huge in Rome.
I'm the wife of Troy.
Ba-dum-bum.
So I have to ask you guys in Oklahoma, does the wind really come sweeping down the plains? Just wondering. Well, you should have thought about that with your big head, not your little head. And the waving wheat can sure smell sweet. Okay, good one.
There's another adaptation of this. I think it's from the '60s called Helen of Troy. It looks really good.
That was
seen it yet, though.
That was the one that I was on by accident. It looks like John Rhys Davies plays the King of Troy.
Huh.
And yeah, right now you might be seeing it very, very small, and I apologize for that. Cosme is having some issues. I don't know. There's nothing that I could do on my end. You can detach the video from the Cosme background and blow it up. It's going to take a little playing around with, though. Well, yeah, Orlando Bloom doesn't, exude, alpha masculinity, to be honest.
Yeah. There's a meme in Mahler's EFAP streams where they rewatch this and they just made fun of Orlando Bloom's acting in every one of them.
Okay, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. I can see that, yeah. If I move to San Antonio, Texas, you won't have to remember the Alamo. You'll be next door to it. And
I just rewatched that like last week.
I think a lot of people that live there, are preparing to fight it again, to be honest with you. Good. I'm glad it's working out for you. Yeah, and I can't take credit for this whole Cosme concept. I learned about it and how to use it from Jedi Bill and from deleted scenes. And yeah, I think this works really well.
You want to know what's disorienting, Troy?
What's that?
Watching John Wayne's Alamo, and then a few days later, watching John Wayne's True Grit, where John
I can
Wayne is
imagine.
first playing as Davy Crockett fighting with Texans, and then in
Yeah.
the next one, he's with the Texan and making fun of him.
That is funny.
Yeah.
So, we're supposed to believe he took his wife with him to war?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that happens.
I mean, they have a baby, don't they?
Oh.
Again, nothing changes. War doesn't change.
Although, I would argue that combat is a little more personal compared to now with guns. It's kind of like what the Joker says in The Dark Knight.
Oh, sure.
Like with us, we could just flex our finger and someone dies.
That is true, and yet there's still so many soldiers dying on front lines. That still hasn't changed,
The specifics are the things that change, but the general things...
Exactly. The concepts don't change. Well, again, Curtis, I wonder if that's historically accurate or if it's just a dramatic thing for the movie. I don't know enough about this history to comment on that.
There are many different interpretations. Some yes, some no. But there are like multiple tellings from different perspectives of the Trojan War, like in ancient texts.
Yeah. Well, Mark, this is kind of like what you and I have talked about, right? There is the reason for war that, your country's leaders tell you about, and then there's the real reason for it. I'll bet you that back home they're saying that and that's exactly what you were saying, Samuel. This thing that depends on which side you're on. On one side, it's the prince had an indiscretion and the queen ran away. The other side is going to say they stole our queen.
I don't think I said anything about size, but I'll take credit for it.
Yeah. You probably didn't say it exactly, but you said something that set my mind on that thought pattern.
I see.
Troy is under siege. All the women and children are inside the... Oh, good point. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, good point.
I'm going to MeWe you a link, sweetie. Give me a second. Okay.
And I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get the remnants of a Mother's Day cake.
Oh, okay.
Brandon Herrera has a SoundCloud channel?
Apparently, and a bunch of music is on there that he's played. It's his playlist. So I figure the song that you're looking for is probably somewhere on here.
Wonder if there's a way to search here.
Yeah, I was kind of scrolling through trying to find something, and I didn't see a search. I'm still scrolling.
Okay, I'm going to have to listen to these. Brandon Herrera has a song called Drunk. I'm going to have to check that out, that's for sure.
Oh, followed by another one called On the Floor.
Nice!
That's further down the list, though.
"27 tracks. I'm not seeing it, though. I don't think so.
Oh, he's got some that you have to extend. You know, like open them up to see what's there. I mean, I'm scrolling through a whole bunch of stuff.
Alright, I'm back.
There's a Selena Gomez song on here, Slow Down.
Yeah, that's like the last song, or right near the last song.
But I don't think I see it here.
Well, this is one of those ones that he's got is a mix, like a bunch of different stuff together.
Maybe.
Like the bootleg mix, the tribe mix, original mix,
Trail Mix.
party mix, party remix.
Chex Mix. World War II German veteran told me once, governments fight wars, the people do what they are told to do. That seems to be a recurring theme throughout history. Yes. See, that's another cop-out. Oh, it's the will of the gods. No, your son was thinking with his little head, and now people are dying because of it. People need to learn to take responsibility, especially the king.
Yeah, it could be partially that, and also it could also be like actual belief of how much the pantheon interacts with human affairs.
Yeah. But I think that's another thing that is a common thing throughout history. Trying to explain away their own responsibility and the actions of humanity and saying, well, it's the gods. It's the gods. And the gods are up there like, no, you did this. Good luck.
Well, actually, with this one, some of it's not just Paris and Helen. It's also like Athena and like two other ones who helped start this.
True.
Although in this interpretation, it doesn't seem that, or at least it's not apparently obvious that this interpretation has the gods have anything to do with it, or if they exist in this movie.
Right, Jesse, like I was talking about a couple nights ago, maybe it was last night, that little Hitler business. Yeah, this isn't my problem. The little Japanese kid comes over, knocks over his lunch. Okay, now it's my problem.
Angel in the Morning, sung by a woman or a man in the
Woman,
remake?
yeah.
A woman. Okay, so then it's not this guy.
Don't touch our boats.
You know what I just realized? This war, well, it's not a naval war, so this joke isn't going to work. I was going to say Helen is the one that had loose lips that sunk the ships. That's a vulgar joke if you think it through. Is that right, Matt? Oh, you are awesome.
What?
Matt Cheatwood just gave us the name of the singer.
Oh, how did you find it?
I don't care how. I'm just glad that he did. And thankful that he shared it with us. Nicole Milano.
Right, but I want to know how he found it, so if I ever need to find another artist, I can use whatever method he used.
Thank you so much, Matt. You guys are awesome.
Oh, he said it's the end credits of the AK-50 video. Duh. Thanks, Matt.
Okay, that's fair. I was dumb. I didn't think it through.
You did a dumb.
But you know what? Thank you nonetheless. You are awesome.
So now I gotta see if I can find that particular one for you. Ooh.
Yep. See? He's using this as an excuse.
Yep.
Again, it's always about something else. Oh, we're going to fight for the freedom of this oppressed country. No, you're not. You're going there because you have financial interest there.
Apparently there's a wedding dress designer named Nicole Milano as well.
And you know what? I didn't say it specifically. And I didn't mean just that either. Well, he's only been thinking with his sword. That's the problem. That's how you got into this mess in the first place. I'm probably still going to go give a super thanks to Brandon Herrera.
I haven't found the song yet.
Something that we can, something that he can put towards his campaign. Last couple week push.
Ask him where he found the cover, because I'm searching and all I'm finding is a wedding dress designer. Why are you walking to him? Make him come to you.
He doesn't even hold on to his shield. He's like, I don't even need the shield. I mean,
You fight like a
it does seem
toddler.
pretty damn one-sided.
He's wearing you out,
This
boy.
is the part where Shad would say, "Don't use your shield. Keep it in front. It is not a counterweight."
Yeah. Paris should have kept it in its sheath. Yes, exactly. Oh, you just pissed him off.
And when he paused, that's when you should have stabbed, dumbass.
Quick, get a sling and a rock. That usually works.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, Prince won't be a thing for over 2,000 years.
Okay, take care, Curtis. Thanks for hanging out with us.
He's not done yet.
I mean, he's right.
Paris, you're getting blood on my legs.
Well, yeah, they basically annexed Troy.
Ooh. Okay, we won.
So
Well, not really.
oh, that armor's useless.
That wasn't the condition. You weren't supposed to get involved in this battle.
He's like, really? Now I gotta go fight all these guys?
Yeah. Now you've just ensured that it's war. Congratulations. So this is the second time you could have diffused things. What the hell do you need a sword for? You're not even fighting. Oh, really? Now you're going to fight.
Yeah,
No, you're going to run. Okay.
it's not Excalibur or anything. He could get
Yeah,
another
exactly.
sword.
I mean, you don't have to do this on my account, folks. Good thing they knew how to build walls, but didn't know how to build siege weapons. Well, in fairness, unless they brought, big siege engines with them on their ships, which seems unwieldy. That's a lot of people. Somebody call up Christopher Nolan and tell him this is how you fill up a beach with people.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of this is CGI crowd.
Yeah, but he dropped it in battle. He doesn't even deserve it. Well, siege engines only work, when you can build them on site or bring them to the site. I think in this particular case, well, to be fair, in a way, the Trojan horse is kind of like a siege engine, just more one of subterfuge than, brute force.
Yeah,
Sword is useless in the hands of a coward. That is a great line. We need to translate that into Klingon.
Gotta write the line down first and then translate it.
I have a funny personal story that has to do with how I perceive the horse, the Trojan horse. I'll share later on.
Uh-huh. Ooh.
Keep your shield up.
More, dead.
Well, it still worked, right?
Dang. It's like, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
Well, that's just it. Like, that was a killing wound. Just not immediately. He doesn't immediately lose consciousness.
And I wouldn't be aiming for the guys in the front. I'd be aiming for the guys in the back that don't have the shields. That's a lot of extras.
Yeah, it does kind of... Again, the way this narrative is going, they're not necessarily making the best tactical decisions. These are the kings making stupid decisions based on emotion, right?
I don't remember if these are actually the tactics in the Iliad, so I don't know.
Yeah. That's okay, Matt. Thanks for getting me that far, at least. It's something for me to work with.
Hey, surrender! Are they French?
Right.
Ugh. They're just rolling over everybody.
Right?
Yeah, keeping in formation is important.
Say hi to Sharon for us.
If they don't kill you first.
Oh, absolutely. It's just like when you're playing D&D and you loot the bodies of, the fallen.
It's like if you're giving him coins to be able to cross the river Styx, shouldn't you have put them in his pocket so he doesn't lose them?
I'm sure there's a reason behind it.
He just wakes up blinking them out.
Right.
Talk about being blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's idiots on both sides.
I kind of like how this
'Cause
movie's
you're an ignorant
interpreting
jackass.
these characters. It doesn't feel like they're trying to modernize it for uh to try and make it more palatable to us. It feels like this is what the people that were written down.
Yeah.
I mean, the inverse kind of happens naturally,
Yeah.
but that's always nice to see.
So didn't I tell you guys not to touch the woman?
Yeah.
Not touchy.
Yep.
These guys are looking like, I didn't do nothing.
To be fair, the Greek don't have much when it comes to supplies and weapons, so they're going to make do with what they got. Well, but that's how it should always be in battle, right? You don't just leave, ammunition or weapons or armor, on the battlefield. You pick it up and you keep using it, whether it's yours or the enemy's. I mean, your sides or the enemy's.
Lady, he's trying to patch you up.
It's like she wouldn't take the cloth from him, and then she threw it back into the the water, and then she grabs it to clean herself.
Probably a good point. He's just doing the best with the lot he was given.
Yeah, exactly. I've learned recently the difference between what we know as worshiping and the pre-Christian pagan pantheons. You don't really worship Zeus because he loves you. You sacrifice to him to appease him.
Right. Yeah, this is why I've often told people when they don't understand, like Cthulhu and stuff like that. I'm like, it's not really that different from all these other pantheons. It's not like all these gods are out, for humankind's, betterment or to take care of them or whatever. You're trying to buy them off. Or keep them asleep as long as possible so they don't notice you.
Honey, why don't you wash your face?
That's what I was
She's
gonna
right.
say, Ned.
It's like it's even worse. You should know better. At least as a dumb brute, I could forgive ignorance. Yeah, it's 1,000 years before Sun Tzu, but soldiers, a lot of what's in Sun Tzu, most experienced soldiers know and knew. Just because Sun Tzu wrote it down doesn't mean that, it was new thought, new philosophy, and new concepts. He still hasn't taken the knife away from her. Okay, I could always kill you later.
Well, she was a virgin. She isn't anymore.
I said, Pootie, that Sun Tzu may have been the first one to write it down. That doesn't mean he was the first one to come up with the ideas. People know things that they don't write down. Soldiers know things they may not tell other people. Then maybe eventually someone writes it down and you give them all the credit. Sun Tzu possibly was not even a real person. Could have been just somebody who collected the works of someone else. Yeah, someone else is doing the stabbing now. I was thinking that too, Mark. He's like, oh, here we go again.
that doesn't mean anything. He still plans to fight.
Yeah, it takes a certain amount of wisdom to recognize that you should be afraid.
Okay, I figure if I dip out for a second, I'm not going to miss anything, just more fighting.
Probably. Very probably. Hmm. Well, that's also true. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that same way there, Pootie. But again, it's just a different reason for making bad decisions. Well, that is pretty sensible. I have a feeling he's just making it up, though. Yeah, to justify what he wants. That's really all he's been doing, is justifying. Yep.
I love lines like that. We attack at daybreak.
Yep.
As opposed to the
Gondor is
West, where
called
they
for
always
aid.
want to fight at high noon.
But see, that's the problem, Jesse. People don't seem to learn regardless. They keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. That's, what I said when I said, war doesn't change. We're still fighting the same wars, making the same mistakes. Canceling somebody when they point out that we're doing the same thing all over again. Salute, deleted scenes. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, thanks so much. Deleted scenes. Yeah, she definitely does give him a reason to retire from the soldier life, doesn't she?
In this case, I could give them a pass for using fire arrows. They could be interpreting that as the mysterious Greek fire.
Yeah, I wish I could remember. There was a channel that I saw that showed how real fire arrows were used. And it was some sort of a... I don't remember what the formulation was, but it was like... what is that? The iron filings and whatnot that burns through cement. What is that?
Okay, I've lost track of who's who. Are the ones being attacked by the fireballs the bad guys or the good guys?
There are no bad guys or good guys.
Okay,
Troy is attacking the invading Greeks that were going to leave in the morning. So exactly like Eric Bana said, they're galvanizing them to continue fighting. They're snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
It just depends on who you're rooting for.
Yeah, that's true.
Although I think those big fireballs are a bit more plausible because there's been videos talking about how much the things you have to do to make an arrow go on fire kind of weighs it down.
Thermite. That's what I was trying to think of. Primitive thermite wadded into the end of an arrow. And it'll, continue burning even without oxygen. And yes, they did. Well, I don't know about here in Greece, but, by the Middle Ages they did. Again, Jesse, I didn't mean it literally. I meant it figuratively. The broad strokes of war, the reasons we go to war, the general ways we fight them. Yes, we have better weapons. We have better armor. We have, instead of arrows, we're using guns. Instead of, siege weapons, we're using missiles. But basically, the wars are the same. You have stupid oligarchs fighting over their own pissing contests and their own financial gain, and they don't give a crap about the soldiers they're sending to die. That's what people mean when they say war never changes. If I describe to you, if you look at this and then you look at us getting involved in Ukraine, tell me there's a real difference there. Why are we here? What are we fighting for? That's what they're all asking. Yes, and who benefits? The people that fight and die and their families? No. Hell, in this case, not even the kings, because they end up dead, right? But the people that keep pushing and saying, oh, we got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. No, we're not gaining anything from this. No, we got to keep fighting. We have to fight for honor, or we have to fight for this, or we got to fight for that. Came here for a woman, but, I want to subjugate these people to build my power. Yeah. That's a good point, too.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, Putin's catch. But I guess I would root more for the Trojans because they're part of it. At least
I would have said exactly just the attackers, but then just when the attackers are getting ready to leave and go home, the defenders attack to make them come back.
You got me there.
Ew. He got dead.
I'm sure there's some conversation was had in the ruins of Stalingrad and on the long retreat from Russia. History repeats. Yeah, it does.
There's a line in All Quiet on the Western Front where one of the older soldiers talks about how maybe how war should really go is just have the leaders fight each other specifically, and then whoever wins gets the other side.
Yeah.
You just killed Achilles' cousin. You're dead.
Well, and that's just it, right? Again, people that are ready to leave, now you've given them a reason to stay and keep fighting. Congratulations.
You didn't listen to the sun. Wasn't the reason they provoked them from leaving because of an oracle?
Okay, they look like they're wearing two different styles of armor there. Are they both on the same side? No, they can't be because they're fighting against one another.
Okay, Jesse, I want you to watch this video. I just dropped a link to.
And the kid was told stay with the ship. He didn't listen. So you gonna tell Achilles that his cousin's dead? I'm doing it from a distance.
He came out in a good mood, but oh man.
Yeah, that's what they said. Achilles' cousin, not Achilles. Well, that's a whole other thing. In Fortnite, when you could just die and respawn, you're going to make very different decisions than if you die and that's it.
Oh, did you catch that? We didn't lead them into battle. We thought you did because his cousin had his armor.
Oh, gotcha. Well, he's dead. And see, now he's gonna change his mind about what he was doing because he's got to get revenge.
Yeah. What is killing him gonna do?
Or her.
He's not exactly a bright one.
No.
He just goes with his emotions.
Like everyone else, right?
Yeah,
I think Eric Bana's the only one who's been using his head.
it's been pre-established that he just goes with his emotions. It's not out of character for him to do that.
Because he's intelligent. He knows what's coming. Because it's true. Listen to him. All we accomplished was awaken a sleeping giant and fill him with terrible resolve.
Yep.
Admiral Yamamoto after the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. Yep. What I like, Jesse, though, is he points out the value of fire arrows for Hollywood because, you know, if you're fighting at night, you kind of need something to, you know, light the scene. You could, you know, use them as, you know, the equivalent of tracer rounds. But if you're firing arrows to try and light a fire, you need something better than something that's just going to go out even if it hits a hay bale, you know. That's if you can get the fire started. You need something that will keep burning, not, you know, something that will go out, you know, and be snuffed out when it goes into the hay bale or the thatched roof.
Yeah,
And
you
actually,
also want to keep the arrow light enough to not be weighed down.
exactly. Shad did a great video about, and he wasn't doing it the way it probably would have been done. He was doing it the way they kind of show it being done in Hollywood. And whenever he'd light it, he'd fire the arrow, and poof, it went out as it left his bow.
Hey, Will Turner's learning to do archery.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I do, they did choose a good actress for this role, because it's like, for all the things you say, it's like, but yeah, I kind of understand some of these guys, you know, fighting over her, you know?
Yeah. And also, I'm just remembering in the Iliad, someone claimed that Helen was the most beautiful woman in the world, and that kind of pissed off like Artemis and Athena.
Exactly. Yeah, Pootie's right. This Lord of the Rings prequel is weird. See, but that's exactly what I was talking about. It's like he was ready to leave. He was going to take his myrmidons, and they were going to go. You know, but now you made it his problem. They're coming back again.
He's got his
and right now, I would wake my wife and say, "Leave now."
Yeah.
Leave now and never come back.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the reason he doesn't, he gave her the instruction she needs to listen to. If I die, and if they breach the walls, get the hell out. You know, other than that, yeah, maybe it's not a smart idea to leave the city. He dies, they all die, everyone dies. Good one, Pootie. See, that was a little bit more like what we were talking about, you know, the painted pillars and so forth. Well, at least there's some. Here we go. Peter O'Toole got crazy
Holy
eyes.
crap. Yeah, I was gonna say, his eyes are really wide there.
Paris already painted his pillar. Yes, Mark. Yes.
Hardy, hardy, har.
But remember what the Joker said. Never rub another man's rhubarb.
Okay. You guys are getting way too much mileage out of that.
I know.
I'm sorry.
It's all about timing.
I never found that joke so funny before.
It's all about timing. Cometh here that I might brain thee. Okay, go die well now.
How do you know he dies? Maybe he doesn't.
Army of Darkness, where the castle defenders used black powder and arrow. That may be true because some historians have argued over the early use of black powder. Yeah, and there are ways to cause black powder to burn more slowly and evenly. Different formulations and so forth.
See, I'd have to say to this guy, this is all your fault.
He already did. Now it's pointless to say anymore.
I'm gonna say
He
anyways.
already
Dang
proved
it,
he was
Paris.
a coward.
Damn it, Paris. Yeah, exactly.
We'll always have Paris.
That's the problem. Everyone else is dying and Paris is still here. And it's his fault. Even when he had a chance to resolve it himself, nope, he runs like a coward.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is he's not... Hector isn't Paris. He's going to go do what he's got to do. And he's going with the the probably noblest attitude a soldier has. I mean, yeah, he's going to fight for his king, he's going to fight for his country, but really he's fighting for his wife and child, you know?
What is the origin for the name for Paris, France? Is it this? Is it this?
Probably.
Paris?
Yeah, probably. That's kind of where that whole joke, it's all Greek to me, comes from. So much of Western culture is based on Greek things, names. I mean, look at all the cities that are named for ancient Greek cities.
Or just Alexandria?
Yeah. But even how much of Roman culture is co-opted or whatever by from the Greeks.
It's actually kind of interesting. I kind of read and kind of got surprised that. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna let this scene play.
Yeah. That's right. And what did the Germans call their leader? Kaiser. As in Julius Caesar. The Germans believed that they were the continuation of the Roman Empire. And I suppose to a certain degree they were.
And then there's Mussolini.
A little bit more. Well, right. Yeah. I mean, they are a little bit more evenly
Well, I think
matched.
Hitler wanted to be more. I thought Hitler wanted to be more of a bringing back like a, I forget his name, that 1800s German leader.
Yes, but I meant all of German history, right up through the Third Reich.
Yeah. Stop using your shield as a counterweight.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to use your shield as a weapon.
There's no need to dodge when you have a shield.
Ouch.
So give me a minute.
Wow.
Ow.
Yeah, that had to hurt.
And it's all your fault.
Yep. Oh, that's right. He wouldn't be able to breathe because one of his lungs collapsed, or if not both of them. Okay, he dead. That's dead.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Just but a flesh wound.
That should have been you.
So what, little brother?
And it just continues, right? Okay, I killed the one that killed my cousin. Now they got to kill him because he killed him, and it just goes on and on.
So yeah, what I was saying earlier was that I've learned from the book Caesar and Christ, the Will Durant book on Rome, is that when Rome conquered Greece and Greek influence was coming in, that there was kind of rise and falls of how they perceived the Greeks. Sometimes they really admired them. Other times they thought they were corrupting, like the philosophers and the plays.
Yeah.
And yeah, just thought that was very fascinating.
Oh,
to
absolutely.
find some of the insults that they made about the Greeks.
Yeah, she's got a point. It doesn't. Yep. And so little brother adopts the way of the Sith. Well, I don't know about the Sith, but that sand, it gets everywhere. It's so coarse.
You had to make that joke, Troy.
Well, there's a whole beach of sand there. I mean, come on. Okay, he really is nuts.
No, he's freaking
And you
out,
see
though.
how Achilles is raised? Like, what the hell's going on here?
Like, what's wrong with you?
Primmy?
I guess so.
Brave or foolish?
Well, you still got your younger son who started all this. That's fair.
Right?
Yeah. You know, and does that mean that, their relatives are justified coming after you then?
Maybe.
Well, don't blame him. Blame your younger son. No, it was the will of Paris.
Well, technically, all this is the will of uh, like Artemis and or
Yeah, right. In their mythology, I guess you're right, yeah.
yeah, the three goddesses. Their names escape me.
Artemis, Athena. Was Hera involved in it too?
I'm not sure. Okay, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. That's what it is.
Aphrodite. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And wasn't it Aphrodite who was the one that was pissed off about Helen being so beautiful or whatever?
Yeah. Yeah, the goddess of love and beauty.
Right.
Why is he crying?
I mean, I can think of a couple of reasons. I'm not sure exactly what's going through his head. He sees the futility of it all.
About time?
He's also crying for his cousin
Yeah, true.
and him.
That poor actor's got all that sand around his eyes. It's like...
Told you, it
open
gets
my
everywhere.
eyes.
So coarse.
Anakin, that's not at
It's
the
like, I wear
least
contacts.
romantic.
I don't want sand anywhere near.
Yeah, exactly.
So she wasn't a slave, she's a princess.
Well, she said that Hector was her cousin.
Yeah, but he thought she was a slave girl. If?
Yeah.
You're not
No,
exactly the most emotionally intelligent person here.
right. You make a great point there, Jesse. Karma's catching up with him, that's true. Which, if he had any degree of wisdom, he knew was going to happen eventually. And I think he's kind of implied he's known that all along.
Yeah, although I think in the original, I don't think he had a cousin who died because,
Yeah.
in fact, I think it was his friend because, well, there's been lots of people since the 70s that have interpreted that as proof that he was gay.
Yeah.
But apparently a lot of the kind of narrative that have been brought up since the 70s is about the Greeks and Romans being more outrightly gay
Yeah.
and having it be acceptable was exaggerated.
Yeah, actually, Metatron's had a couple of videos recently about that.
Yeah, there's a more in-depth one. Let me look it up. Leather Apron Club. He has a 50-minute video, just going through the details of that.
Yeah.
There are examples, but mostly from the elites in secret.
And,
That's
you
where you
know,
can get away with it.
one of the things Metatron often says, and any, historian, with any credibility, you put aside your own contemporary prejudices and say, what did the people in the time think? What did they say? What did they write down? What do we know about them? You don't make assumptions based on,
there's
us
lots of
2,000
examples
years
of
later.
Roman. There's lots of examples of lots of Roman senators, kind of using homosexuality for the other person as like someone to
Exactly.
put them down and discredit them.
And the other thing too is Rome. We're talking about hundreds of years. The mores change. Yeah. Just like look at the 200 plus years of the United States. Homosexuality and how it was viewed has changed a great deal from the inception of our country to today. And most of that just in the past.
A quote.
What?
I think a few streams ago I commented a quote of a joke where a comedian said like 1,000 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were drawn, quartered, and fired and hanged.
Yeah.
100 years ago, you were hanged. 50 years ago, you were flogged. 20 years ago, you were given a warning. Well,
yeah.
Well, why are you leaving the country? I'm leaving before it becomes compulsory.
Good point. That's a great point. It does seem to be getting there, doesn't it? Where they're saying you have to put your pronouns in your bio.
Yeah.
Mine would be, I am as God made me.
Yep.
The comedian said it way funnier than I did.
Yeah. I still like the way you said it.
Yeah, no, it was a great point. If that was a mandatory field, it would be shall not comply. Yep. Exactly.
Did you hear me said this is the last order I give you?
Yep. "12 days later."
Troy and Netter, have you guys
Mhm.
seen the Helen of Troy movie? You might have answered that before, but
I don't think
You have?
we have. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
yeah, I think that one is on my wish list on the Warner Archive collection.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good Blu-ray if it's from the Warner Archive.
Oh. The Trojan horse.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the plague.
Yep. That dude on the right, wasn't he in Game of Thrones?
Maybe. Looks familiar.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Game of Thrones.
If I had a
Yeah.
big enough torch. Yeah, at this point I don't either anymore, Jesse. It started out good and it just went to crap. And we're never going to get the last couple books.
And if they did set the thing on fire, you know, like the prince said, that would actually have saved a bunch of lives.
Well, here's the irony, right? The one saying, burn it, that's the one right thing he said this whole movie. He's the one who started all of this. So them not listening to him kind of makes sense.
Yeah, the one in the Trojan horse movie looks more like a giant woodcut, like just one block.
Yeah. This makes more sense.
It's like,
was
now
very
it's in the middle of the city.
geometrical.
Now burn it.
Can you imagine the soldiers inside there? What are they doing? They're dancing around. Okay.
I think that's what they were hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the prince, but nobody's listening to me.
He'd have made his brother proud if he hadn't taken up with you and brought you to Troy.
Yeah, the dog has to lick off the jam.
Yeah, right. That's not blood, that's raspberry jam, yeah. You're not telling anybody anything.
Shh, you didn't see anything.
That's right.
These aren't the Trojans you're looking for.
There was a funny way I interpreted this part when I was little. So I think I vaguely remember learning about the Trojan War in elementary school
Uh-huh.
from just the
Sure.
uh, what was it, the textbooks,
Sure.
and and for some reason I interpreted that they had the whole army in the one horse.
Yeah, exactly.
And this and reading the actual thing, well, not reading, learning about the actual thing, where they snuck out and opened the gates. That's what it was for. That makes way more sense.
Yeah, exactly. To let
Just
in the
think
rest of
the
the
whole
army, yeah.
army just stuffed it there.
South Park special where they're making fun of Game of Thrones and Black Friday. Butters said exactly what. See, every time I try to watch the show, yeah. Ouch!
He just bonked his head.
Yep. That's another thing. Torches don't really work the way they do in movies either. Yep. Here you go.
Oh yeah, that Trojan Horse movie, the Italian one I mentioned. Uh,
Uh-huh.
they interpreted this happening in the day.
You know, and here's the other ironic thing, right? He said, you'll have 12 days. 12 days later!
12 days later.
Yeah, exactly. Burning down the house.
Now, hopefully, Hector's wife is able to get away with their kid.
He told her to leave if anything happened to him. She should already be gone. I mean, it's exactly what Hector said. Men are being killed. The babies are being smashed against the walls. The women are either being killed or taken as slaves. It's a Gays for Palestine party. Very Old Testament, yes, Matt.
Just very ancient historical warfare. Just in general. Although I guess that still happens.
Yeah, absolutely it does. Oh, did you see that? The statue going over, all the fires. It's the summer of love.
These guys have never heard of the Geneva Suggestions.
The Geneva Suggestions. Yes, exactly. Hey, rude!
Well, the other thing is, how would they put it out? It's not like the fire department's going to come.
Well, that's true. Yeah, and those that could like bring water and stuff are too busy, dying.
Yeah.
Well, you had your 12 days.
And you were the fool who
What did
said,
you expect?
the Thors come in.
Oh,
Tell your father you told him so. I dare you.
this is like hundreds of miles south of where Thor would even care to go.
Yep. Get
Ooh,
in
I
my
like that
belly.
Brasidas, where are you?
Yeah.
Get out of the way of the horse.
Yep.
You do not want to be in front of that.
Okay, where's her baby?
Ah, Aeneas. Roma Invicta.
You
Go.
should already be gone.
Why do these people never listen?
Yeah, nobody listens. Of course, nobody's using their thinky bits either. She wants the word of Troy. Android 16 once said, "Why are you still here?" Team 4-star reference.
I was thinking Ferris Bueller. Why are you still here? Go home.
Yeah, exactly.
It's over.
Of course he does.
Because he's a coward.
Yep. It's like he tries to be brave, but he lacks the conviction to see it through.
He just sucks at being brave.
Kind of sucks at being a man.
Yeah.
Ah! I've seen dead before, and that's dead. Now I'm going to send you to meet them. Oh, this is the will of the gods. Remember? Please what? There are no innocents. See, that's a very old war truism as well. You don't leave the children alive because they grow up and come after you later when they grow up.
Like Germany.
Yeah, exactly. Yow. Nope.
It's good to want things.
Yeah, exactly. Nope. I'm going to impale you first. Wow!
Oh,
Took his head right off.
holy beheading.
Through the heel. That's gotta hurt.
Oh, but that stinking heel of his. He takes one shot from that and he... kablooey. He's history.
Shoot him in the head. It's the only way to ever kill a zombie. It's like, okay, that one stung.
He's taken for the same master as Boromir.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, well, yeah, some of those were pretty high in his chest. Gut wounds he could have kept going, but...
Maybe some have got his liver.
She's so fickle. You killed my cousin, but I'm in love with you.
I know.
I don't remember her in the Iliad.
Yeah, I don't think they were really going for anything, too matchy with the legends. Took a lot of license with this one.
I'm gonna stay alive just long enough to make my goodbye speech.
And I can't get up.
Troy is falling,
Yeah.
but Rome will rise.
The moral of this movie, people will do anything for a good fuck. Yes, that's right, Pootie. You know, I think her whole role in this was to be like the counterpoint to Helen, right? So like her and Achilles and Helen and Paris, you know. Troy fall down and go boom. Yeah, that's what usually happens on Fridays. I drink, I get drunk, I fall down.
Do you get what he's referencing, Troy?
Troy fall down and go boom, yeah.
It's a Looney Tunes joke.
Well, it's older than that, but yes, you're right. And in Looney Tunes, it's more like Troy fall down and go boom.
Ow! Don't be loud.
Yeah, it's like it's like the little baby kid voice, and then just
Yeah,
the big
exactly.
Mel Blanc yell.
Exactly. Nobody. Troy completely fell, and that's it. It's all gone. They all dead.
The Greeks won.
Yeah, the Greeks won. Oh, so she did make it.
Yeah, they're gonna go found Rome, or at least become the ancestors of Romulus and Remus.
Right.
And he's the prince of a burnt-out city.
Now she turns into a pillar
Alright,
of salt,
time-
right?
All right, time to create the Italian people.
Yes, exactly. Now we are going to teach you about the wonders of pizza.
He was such a heel.
Yeah. Wow, that was a pretty good movie, though. I mean, again, this is one of those
That
ones
was a
I
pretty
have.
good dad joke.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, inspired by Homer's The Iliad. There's and yeah, to what extent it was inspired by, I don't know, but you know, an enjoyable movie for
It's
for
more
what
than
it
you
was.
think.
Possibly, very possibly.
Yeah,
Well, good suggestion, Samuel Proctor.
They should put in inspired by the Iliad.
Oh, I guess I didn't have
Yeah,
the closing
yeah,
credits
thank
in
you.
my version. Sorry about that, but oh well.
Now we're never going to know who catered.
Yeah, we'll never know who the best boy was. There we go. But good. I'm glad you liked it. Glad you liked it. I hope all of you did. And gosh, I want to thank you all for coming and staying this long. I know it's late on a Monday night. Well, Tuesday morning. But we're not going to go through the week. You saw the coming attractions at the top of the show. So, Samuel, you got anything coming up? I know you've got a channel. You're working on some content. Anything you want to share or talk about before we end?
Not exactly right now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to develop my things. I'm kind of trying to create a print-on-demand shop on Etsy for my art, kind of based off of one of the stories I'm writing in the kind of taking place in the era of Nero, but that's gonna take a little bit. So.
Well, that's fair. So make sure that you're subscribed to Samuel Proctor, and when his content does come out, and he lets you know what he's up to, you will see it and you'll know.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me on. I kind of thought this would be a fitting place to start. I kind of wanted to join you guys for a bit.
Sure. And now you've done. So this was your first live stream, right?
Yes.
So there you go. You got to start somewhere. You got to pop your cherry, and there you go.
I was just gonna say he's no longer a virgin.
Yeah, exactly. So now. Oh. Yeah. See. So now you can now it's just as simple as if you want to start a live stream, you use StreamYard, and if you want to invite someone on, you send them the link and. Just go live and do the things. But
and if you need help with any of that, we've done this.
Yeah,
so
we'll talk
times.
You through it. We'll give you advice, and happy to help you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks to everyone.
And Netter, I already told them what we got coming up for the week. So you want to just give us the lead out, or how do you call it?
I can do that.
There you go.
You mean my outro?
Your outro, yes. Do the outro for us.
Well, of course, I want to make sure that everyone is subbed to every member of the panel as well as every member of the chat. And if you think you're sub, please double check that you're still sub, because YouTube likes to take those away.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And with that said, we can talk amongst ourselves, and that's all well, good, and fun. But it is so much more fun when you guys are joining us in the chat, and you're dropping your comments, questions, trivia, being goofy, whatever it may be. And it doesn't feel like we're separated by miles or continents in some cases. It feels like we're all hanging out in the same room, enjoying each other's company and having a great time. And you guys, you're not just our friends. You are our family. We love you guys, and we appreciate you so very much. You can be anywhere right now, and you're here with all of us, and it's so encouraging. And if you're still here after 3 hours of watching this movie, God bless you.
Yeah, absolutely. or in the spirit of the movie, the gods bless you.
Or whatever you believe in, bless you.
There you go.
But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for encouraging, me, Troy, and Samuel, and of course each other in the chat. We could, as I always say, we can talk amongst ourselves, but it's more fun with you guys. I don't really think it would be that fun a show without you guys.
Yep.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for encouraging us. And until next time, good night and God bless.
Take care, everyone. Hope to see you tomorrow night on live from Sparkwood and 21. Salute.
Roma in week.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.